Hello out there and welcome to XCOM 2 on a town called Bastard. I'm the Bastard and it's been, well, we've been waiting for this for a while, haven't we? Well, I have. I don't know if you have. You should have been, otherwise you just don't know what to expect out of life. Okay, so XCOM 2. A few things to mention before we start up on this one. First off, this is definitely going to be a narrative playthrough, so I'm going to leave all cutscenes in. We're going to run through the tutorial, all sorts of stuff like that. So, on the one hand, if you're looking for a playthrough where you can enjoy the story and kind of follow that through to hopefully the conclusion, then this might be the playthrough for you. If on the other hand you don't want spoilers and you kind of want to look at the game before buying it and you just want some kind of gameplay stuff, maybe not. I mean, you can skip to the middle of missions in the middle of videos and stuff like that, but maybe not for you, I don't know. The other thing to mention is that this is going to be a playthrough on veteran difficulty, which is the equivalent of normal difficulty in old XCOM. And oh my god, why are you being such a wuss, Matt? I hear you cry. Well, that's because I have now had XCOM 2 for approximately 24 hours, and I have tried a couple of playthroughs on I believe the Commander difficulty, which is the equivalent of Old Classic, and it has kicked my ass so hard. So hard. This is actually the second attempt at a recording of a first episode. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just out of practice with XCOM, or I'm having trouble adjusting my brain to the new tactics that are required. Either way, it is kicking my ass. So we're going to go with a normal playthrough. We're going to go on veteran. Maybe if that becomes utterly tedious, we'll restart a playthrough on Commander. I don't know. But I've tried veteran as well, and it wasn't overly easy for me, like normal tends to be on the original XCOM. Well, not original XCOM, but XCOM Enemy Unknown. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. The premise of XCOM 2, for anyone who doesn't know out there, is obviously it's a sequel to XCOM, but it actually takes as canon that you lost the first campaign of XCOM, which is interesting. So it's kind of 20-30 years later, aliens rule the world and you are the resistance fighting back. As I said, all that stuff will be explained in cutscenes because we're going to go through with that. So let's kick off, I think. I don't think there's much to approach that we haven't mentioned already. So we're going with veteran. We're going to turn on the tutorial and the beginner voiceovers. Because, you know... Oh, do we need the beginner voiceover? I don't know. Do we need the beginner voiceover? Yeah, we'll go with it for now, because we might hit a stage that I haven't actually played through offline, and it might be worthwhile, who knows. But either way, this first episode is going to be packed with cutscenes and a lot of story stuff, so if you just want to jump straight into it, maybe hop into the next episode once it goes live, which it will do very shortly. And if not, then yeah, I won't be talking over them, so I'll go quiet now and enjoy the beginning bit of XCOM 2. As soon as it starts. Any second now.
Excitement continues to build as city centers across the globe prepare for the 20th anniversary of Unification Day.
Thousands line up at the site of the Great Accord, celebrating the formation of the Advent Coalition.
Keeping with their promise to humanity, 12 new gene therapy clinics will be opening in select cities by the end of the new year.
Despite the attempted attack by fringe elements, operations at the new facility in Paris thankfully remain unaffected.
In response to the unprovoked intrusion on the eve of our most beloved celebration, the speaker reaches out to us.
A small number of dissidents again repeat the mistakes of the old world.
Striking as we celebrate the benevolent savior who time and again offers only friendship and compassion.
Yet these trivial actions could never break the bond between humanity and the Elders.
Peacekeeping forces have already made several preemptive arrests of known collaborators. Advent again assures all citizens that today's celebrations will continue as planned.
Perfect.
The Advent administration reminds you to report all suspicious activity to your nearest peacekeeper. Approaching position. You were right. They've definitely got their hands full today.
Stay focused. Prep Gatecrasher.
60 seconds.
Now.
Signal received. Loud and clear. Okay, Gatecrasher. Your turn.
Advent forces are swarming to the blast point. We need to move on the package before they figure out what we're up to. First things first. You need to get out of sight. Grab some cover near that low wall.
Copy that. Moving up.
We're all about the low walls. Okay, so welcome to XCOM 2. So I think the intro cinematic does a nice job of introducing that. Here you've got a lovely statue of mankind being uplifted by aliens who totally aren't tyrannical despots, wanting to mine our genetic material for something awful. One of the first things I noticed about XCOM 2 is, and I was prepared for this, but it's really rather prettier than XCOM 1. Really significantly so. I've been surprised at some feedback I've seen on Steam forums and various places of people saying, "Oh, it's uglier than the first one," and you're mad. You're actually mad. Like, no. Look at that water. Look at the reflection. No, you're talking bollocks. But then people complaining on forums do tend to do that rather a lot. Without any further ado, we've got our two Gatecrashers here. Let's move forward. The tutorial bit is scripted, so. Yeah, not a huge amount is going to happen. Most of the kind of fundamentals of the game are still in place. You still get 2 actions a turn. Cover is still high and low. Most of the things are very similar. It's just there's interesting new spins on most things, including a couple of new systems overlaid on top, which we will mostly meet within this tutorial. So
In position,
let's just carry on.
But I'm exposed here.
It's better than nothing. But see if you can't find a safer position further out.
Well,
Looks like full cover ahead. Moving out.
Moving out indeed.
Crasher 2, stay close. Keep pace with Crasher 1.
There's it is worth playing through this tutorial for you guys in a story way, if for nothing else, because the tutorial does also definitely act as a firm prologue and kind of explains who characters are and what's going on and stuff. So it is worth playing through, which is lucky because we're doing it anyway.
Double time. They're holding position. We're gonna have to go through them. Stay out of sight until we're ready to strike.
Copy that.
Keep to the shadows until you're absolutely set. We'll only get one shot at this.
In the shadows.
And there we go, there's the first new mechanic. Concealment, basically, a stealth mode. In a great deal of the missions in XCOM 2, your squad starts concealed, which means that the enemy doesn't know they're there, and they wander around on their normal patrol routes. And essentially, until you reveal yourself by attacking or walking into their line of sight, or doing something loud like jumping through a window, then you don't get kind of directly searched for or attacked, and you can set up quite nice little ambushes. From what I can see so far, it's an interesting feature. It's perhaps... I don't think it's particularly versatile. But I don't know, maybe it'll open up later in the game when I get more abilities around it, we'll see. At the moment I basically just use it for setting up Overwatch ambushes, which is nice, but if it's just like becomes a default thing that you do, then I don't know. We'll see how it works out.
Don't get too close. They'll be spotted for sure and we'll lose our advantage.
Let's move up with Crasher 2, also known as Ramirez, apparently.
They may have the numbers, but we've got surprise on our side. Hopefully that's enough.
Remind me to thank the old man.
You and me both. We're not out of the woods yet. We need to take out those remaining soldiers.
I've got the drop on them. Permission to engage.
Do it.
One of the things I do like so far about this game as well is the sound design. It is very nice. They've done a lot of work on kind of expanding the little snippets of dialogue from the soldiers. I love the big thumping crunch of the Advent soldiers' footsteps, and there's a kind of very nasty and lovely kind of big pow pow as their guns fire off weird multicoloured kind of, I don't know what they're firing, but it's terrifying. Yeah, as I said before, this is scripted, including the dice rolls that or random number generator stuff that comes up for taking the shots. So if I react not with surprise at things happening, then that's the reason why. Because I've played this a couple of times already. Even the ragdolls are scripted. That looks very painful.
Crasher 1 is on the board.
So now we're revealed because we've taken a shot. See, what we should have done, the interesting thing about this, yeah, we lost concealment. The interesting thing about the tutorial actually is that it does teach you the new mechanics of the game, but it actually teaches you what not to do, because the instructions it gives you are actually not very good, not very sensible ways to do things. You put your soldiers in danger, you don't make optimal kind of attacks. For instance, in that situation, if I'd been playing it on my own, Crasher 2 over here would have gone into Overwatch first and got a shot off at one of them when they didn't have any cover. Yeah.
They can see you now. How about you all shoot first and celebrate later? No problem.
Get me being all XCOM 2 expert when I keep getting my ass handed to me offline.
Right now.
I'm probably online. That can wait till later though. Okay. Yeah, and this move is just you just dumb to move in like that. So easily flanked. As I'm sure. Yeah, I will demonstrate. Listen to that. Listen to that lovely sound design there. Those weird phasing thuds.
Not going out back.
And flank. Kapow. Goodbye, Crasher 2. We barely knew thee. And your horrible death rattle.
Crasher 2 is down. She's gone.
Damn it. You can't take risks like that. Watch your flanks.
You literally just told me to go there.
Okay.
There we go. Before the game explains it, I might as well explain little things that come out. So, now, in XCOM 2, sometimes when enemies go down, they drop loot. How exciting is that? In most cases, as far as I can tell, it's things called Elerium cores that help you build stuff, and weapon modifications that you can slot onto your guns, which is very exciting. And also makes you run for things in horrible danger in the same way that Mel did in Enemy Within. Let's go over here and get a flank.
Nice work. Press the advantage before they get around you.
Well, I shall do just that.
Let's see how you like it.
He doesn't like it at all. I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't.
They're closing in on me. Watch the flag.
She's calling reinforcements. Stop that. Transmission.
Central, reporting in.
You're late. What have you been doing down there?
Taking in the sights.
What the hell are these things?
They're us. At least there used to be.
Human hybrid soldiers. Advent's reward for obedience and service.
We've all heard rumors. I just never believed it was true.
No one wanted to. But we find what we're looking for today. I promise you that's gonna change. Let's move.
Looks like that transmission went through. You have an Advent transport closing on your position.
You heard her. Cover the left side.
So yeah, here we go. Here's a slightly new mechanic. Obviously, in XCOM Enemy Unknown, you had reinforcements coming in as well, but those were mostly like thin men and mutons teleporting down. It was very random and quite annoying actually, because unless they drop directly into your Overwatch fields of fire, they could be a right pain in the ass. In this game, they are at least marked. They have like a landing flare, and they come down on that position, which means you can set up traps quite nicely, which is nice. On the other hand, it happens a lot more, so you know, swings and roundabouts. Let's set up a little ambush for them right here.
Keep your eyes peeled. Fire on anything that moves.
Absolutely. Let's get that Overwatch in place. Overwatch is still here, thank God.
We need to move on the package.
We do indeed. Central. I wonder how many of you have already figured out who Central is.
Menace 3, you're up.
Hold up. You should check that body for salvageable gear. We need anything we can get at this point. Better move fast, though. I've heard rumors Advent rigs their stuff to self-destruct.
So they do. So it is very like Meld, for those of you who played a new then, or indeed watched the playthrough on the channel. Go watch it! It was a lot of fun. Occasionally frustrating fun. Okay, so we picked up a scope, which we can, once we get back to base and do a bit of research, we can add that to one of our guns. First, we're going to move Rookie Kelly. So here they come with a dropship. Crasher 1 should be able to do some damage. Love the armor design. I know I mentioned the sound design on how their armor moves, but also just the armor.
Reinforcements just hit the ground.
Chunky, like it.
Getting nervous.
Bit of chunky
Now
armor.
I know we're in the right place.
Run towards the guy with the gun, man. What can go wrong? Crotch shot.
Well done. Fall back to our position.
Just go. I'll try to stall him here.
That bodes well. And it wants us to take a shot. If it was up to me, I'd definitely set Overwatch, but that's just me. Instead, we're going to do a scripted miss. And I've run out of ammo.
I'm going for the door.
Here we go, another slightly new mechanic, hacking. There was a little bit of hacking in the old game, but it was mainly just ways in which to end a mission or complete an objective, whereas in this, it's a bit more intricate than that. Let's have a look.
You should be able to cut right through the door's security protocols. They were never expecting anyone to get this close.
Okay, so all soldiers can hack. Some of them are better at it than others, and some of them can do it remotely, and we'll see how they do that probably in a couple of episodes' time. First off, let's do a straight-up hack on this door to get it open. So, the way hacking works. Essentially, this thing on the left, this is guaranteed. This is what we will get for trying this hack. Things on the left here, they aren't always guaranteed, but they're usually a much higher percentage than these hack rewards over here. In this case, we're guaranteed to unlock the door, 100% chance, so we're going to do it no matter what. We now choose a hack reward, so either disguise signals or override. If we choose this, we have 6% chance of it, and soldier immediately gains concealment. Pretty neat. On this override, we've got a 2% chance of it, so much lower. Soldier gains complete immunity from the next 2 attacks. How good is that? That's so good. Which is why there's only a 2% chance of it. Both of these have no effect if we fail, but in the main game, most things that hack rewards have a thing where if you fail, something bad happens. So it's real risk-reward stuff, and therefore thoroughly in keeping with XCOM. I'm not too bothered by this concealment thing, so we'll try for the overrider, 2%. What could possibly go wrong, he said, knowing exactly what the result will be. There we go. So we unlocked the door, we didn't get the hack reward. And I shall try to pretend I'm surprised.
Good. Let's go.
So, Central, what's in this facility that you want so bad?
Moving to secure the package.
Let's hope our intel was good.
This is the place.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Looks like there's an access panel attached. If you get me a better look, I might be able to...
Next time. Let's get out of here.
Okay then. Here's another little mechanic. As it says here, soldiers can now carry unconscious, dead and bleeding out units, which allows soldiers to retrieve fallen comrades, which is pretty neat. Obviously, if they're unconscious or bleeding out, there's an obvious advantage to that. You get to retrieve them. Dead, there is also an advantage because I believe if you leave dead soldiers alive, the enemy, it helps them develop their kind of own personal tech tree and get more advanced to fight you better. I believe that's the case. I could be wrong, but I think that's it. It's an idea ripped directly from the Long War mod from XCOM 1, I believe. Let's pick this mysterious suited stranger up.
The entire Advent security grid just lit up. Firebrand is holding nearby for evac, but it's now or never, Central.
Understood. We're on the move.
Okay, let's see how Crasher 1 does here. Yup. So, the Crashers
Crasher 1 is down.
will not be joining us for the rest of the game.
We need another exit. Now!
Well, if we need an exit, looks like we better make one ourselves. Let's move here with Rookie Kelly.
Got it covered.
And engage in a bit of willful destruction. The environments are a lot more destructible than in the first game, which is of course delightful. Let's try it out.
Fire in the hole.
Works for me.
And me, Central. Okay, let's waddle on out there. When you're carrying another unit, you can take cover, you can move full speed, but you can't attack. So,
Almost
just gonna
there.
have
Stay
to
focused.
let Central get on with it.
They're right behind us.
So they are.
Way too close.
But, you know, things could be worse. Like that, for example. Central hanging on by a thread.
Firebrand, this is Gatecrasher. We need an immediate evac. Get us out of here.
And here you go. Again, in most missions in XCOM 2, you can call for extraction by calling your Sky Ranger in the kind of reverse of how they provide reinforcements to the enemy. So if we pop an evac zone here, we'll get a load of flares come down, and you get the lovely kind of air turbulence effect coming down there of the Sky Ranger hovering overhead. Lovely. Central is going to pop over here, ready for evac.
We're coming home.
And one nice thing here, you can, this is something you frequently do in missions, you can evac at the end of your turn even if you use both your actions, which is nice. Let's do that.
decades of atrophy to contend with.
Wish we had more time.
I don't disagree.
But as it stands now, we risk losing the patient if we don't begin the removal procedure immediately.
We're ready.
Good. Then let's get on with it.
Remarkable.
Just like 20 years ago. We were still calling it a war back then. We had no idea what was coming.
Response from the cerebral cortex. Good. Prepping for cranial intrusion. I've managed to identify the connection, preparing to make final incision.
These readings are getting really erratic.
Of course they are. These implants were never designed to be removed. We are risking severe...
No plan B here, people. Do it.
Pupillary response normal. Vitals stabilizing. Procedure complete.
Told him it would take more than that to keep you down. Welcome back, Commander.
Woo!
Glad to see you're finally coming out of it. Don't envy the headache you must have, though. Still, can't fault Dr. Tigan. Especially as no one's even attempted something like this before. Easy. We're still not entirely sure what they did to you. That chip was buried halfway into your skull. Lost a lot of good soldiers looking for you over the years. Almost gave up hope you were still out there. Acted on the intel as soon as I got word. Not sure what you remember, but a lot's changed. Did the best I could, but the last 20 years have been tough without you. You feel like catching up? Shen has the archive up and running on your terminal. Otherwise, I'd go see Dr. Tigan when you're ready. There's some things you should know. He'll be better at explaining them than me. It's damn good to have you back, Commander.
So there we go, if you didn't figure it out from that. So, yes, Central
Commander, to
is,
the research lab.
yes. Central is Central Officer Bradford from the first game. And the guy who was being rescued, it was you from the last game, the Commander, who's been held in some kind of weird alien secret facility for the last 20 years. Pretty creepy stuff. So, we're probably going to leave the first episode there. I'm well aware this is just kind of tutorial and cutscenes and stuff like that. But, you know, it'll act as an intro to the series, which is pretty nice. And then in the next episode, we'll get on with the first full mission. And a couple of other intro things about how the base works and science and stuff like that. Most of which isn't too different from how it worked in XCOM. Just prettier and a bit cool. So, yeah. There we go. Excuse me, I am partially choking. First episode of XCOM on Town Called Bastard. Thanks for watching. Hit like if you liked it, hit dislike if you didn't like it. Hey, it's all information for me. Leave a comment and hit subscribe if you enjoy what you've seen, and I'll see you next time. Bye.